For those who play as hard as they work, WD Black Performance Storage represents a new breakthrough. Designed specifically with content creators, gamers, DIY system builders, and creative professionals in mind. WD Black's stable track technology reduces vibrations so you can create more. And it's backed by an industry-leading 5-year warranty. WD Black Performance Storage. Higher capacities, more performance, more possibilities.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Hearthstone Legendary Series, brought to you by Newegg, Western Digital, Crucial, and Cooler Master. If you guys see anything that you really like product-wise, or you're maybe interested, there's all kinds of deals going on ESL's website. If you go to esl.gg/Newegg Esports, you can pick up all kinds of cool details, whether it's some money off or some cool exclusive bundle packages. I highly recommend you guys check it out for any storage or memory needs. Also, if you guys are seeing these players compete, like Zalae and Magic Amy, they came to the open bracket, which we mentioned multiple times, and you can sign up every Sunday through our Challenger portal. All you have to go to is esl.gg/legendary series. You get all the information. The next one is when, TJ?
It is actually tomorrow. So those tournaments are actually really fun to play in. There's usually about 500 players, sometimes even more. You get some really great tournament experience, and of course, there's actually a prize pool just for the Sunday tournament alone. So
$500.
$500. So if you place top 4, not only do you get invited to the Challenger Finals at the end of the week, which gives you a chance to play in the Legendary Series, you also get some cash. Exactly.
Good
so
stuff.
It's great stuff.
Well, we do want to encourage you guys to sign up because it's the next time we're going to broadcast is, I believe, on January 3rd. Excuse me. I actually, again, had some water in the break. I'm trying to process it down because I only have a few minutes. I'm like, glug, 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 glug.
Sludge Belcher Frodan.
Yeah. But, you know, I am one of the most annoying casters, so I guess Sludge Belcher is fitting for me. So, getting out there, I think you want to put out your name in Hearthstone. You're seeing these players play. You too can sign up tomorrow. And make sure to put Sludge Belcher in your deck and remember me, Frodan. Well, going into our next series, we have our first semifinals. Let's take a look at the bracket. We have Zalae and Darkwonyx coming up. And then we have Show vs. Magic Amy, followed by a finals, a best-of-5, to determine who gets into the LAN finals directly. But these 4 players are also guaranteed an invite of next time, assuming they don't win. So if, say, like Zalae goes all the way, he gets a ticket. Darkwonyx, Show, Magic Amy will come back. We have 3 more invited players. On the 3rd, it's actually going to be a really solid lineup of players. We have Firebat, the world champion. We have Hyped from Temple Storm. And I believe Trump is going to be on January 3rd as well. So that's going to be the 3 invites joining the other 3. And then our final 2 players will come through the open bracket. So again, you two could be the ones. It could be me and TJ coming through the open bracket.
Yeah, they might have to find some new casters.
We'll have like Milkcast and Raynad doing some commentary.
The ultimate duo. I would actually pay to see that combination, to be honest.
I would not, but I'll let you pay for me.
Okay. Well, it's a big deal for these guys to win today, and guys and girl to win today, or to win over the next coming weeks, just because automatic invite to the $20,000 LAN final, free ticket to sunny California, to sunny Burbank here at the ESL studios, and lots of stuff on the line for these guys. So Darkwonyx versus Zalae, that's going to be our first semifinal matchup, and Darkwonyx has provided us with quite a bit of entertainment today.
Hell yeah, he's definitely brought some cool stuff. Highlighted by that Warlock deck. It was just so unique through and through. We saw some cool stuff with the Paladin and Scarlet Purifier. Warrior seems very much middle of the road, standard, generic, but Darkwonyx has also been playing Control Warrior for a long time. Unfortunately, it seems like it lined up with his Druid, or the Druid of Zalae, so that's not very good for him. But that Warlock deck is something else. In the meantime, we've seen Zalae. He's playing just rock-solid stuff. Druid, Warrior, and Handlock. It's like, well, you can't really go wrong with that triad combination. You know what? It's not like Hunter and Zoo, which a lot of players just like, well, those guys who play those decks fall into wins. Instead, you have to rely on decks that have a little more complicated combat math and hard decisions.
Yeah, Zalae has played a lot of Hearthstone over the past couple of days. Most of the series that he's played have gone to 3-2, and they've been really long, grueling series, and he's had a rough road to get where he is, but he is invited back to next week, and he really wants to. You can tell he gets really nervous, and you can tell just how passionate he is about about winning and about making it through it and making a name for himself as well, which I think he has over the past couple of days.
He already beat Tides of Time.
Yeah.
So people already, well, love him or hate him, right? Sometimes they beat their favorite players and they're like, well, I don't like that guy.
This unknown player beat my favorite player. He's bad.
Yeah.
Zalae is
be a
the
little
opposite.
nicer on him, man. Like Zalae's clearly putting on quite the show. And instead, you know, let's see if Darkwonyx, one of the more established players out there, can hold his own, especially in a matchup like this where, I mean, we know what this Druid deck can do.
Yes. Yes, we do. And it actually took some, well, a surprise victory. Not really surprise victory, but a pretty crazy victory earlier in the day. And,
well, it won versus the Mage from Tides, and also won versus the Warrior.
Warrior, yeah. He switched at the last blind pick match and took Tides by surprise and was able to take a victory. But this is still a rough matchup for Warrior, and we'll have to see if Zalae can mirror that success that he had earlier.
Well, this is not very good for Zalae. Like, looking at the opening hand, it's, well, there's no easy curve as of yet. He does have Harrison Jones, which is great against weapon classes, but to hero power on turn 2 is not what you want to do. You want to usually use Innervate or Wild Growth, even a coin if you had the chance to.
It might feel enticing to coin out the Shade there, but then you have no follow-up for the following turn. No turn 3 play otherwise.
That's interesting. Zalae hero powers and attacks the Armor Smith. So I guess cool Taskmaster plays become a lot weaker, because then he could snipe it down easily with the Keeper of the Grove. That's pretty clever.
It is. The small things. Well, this turn seems a little more straightforward. You get the Shade out there, get it rolling. Now you're in a situation where you have a follow-up play. And saving that coin's a pretty big deal. Well, it can also combo with like Violet Teachers. Or you can get out a faster Black Knight. I guess he didn't really know that with what information he was given the turn prior.
Right.
But it's a big deal now that he sees it. For a Sledge Belcher.
So now Darkwonyx is, I mean, he's prioritizing weaving in the hero powers, which is definitely the right call. And now it's like about whether he wants to equip a weapon, start chopping, or start arming up.
He's got 2 Fiery War Axes, so if he only had 1, I would lean more towards armoring up. But since he has 2, you kind of want to get one of those out there. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that you are hero powering every turn to preserve your ability to shield slam.
Yeah. The Fiery War Axe, he has to swing too, otherwise he gives 2 cards to Harrison Jones. Oh boy. Oh man.
Do you go for it? It's either keep.
Look, this is what Harrison Jones lives for. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. He's gonna draw. Yeah, he'll be at 9 cards again. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Do it.
Zalae's thinking it over though.
Okay. Well, guess you can't really blame him, but it's just like, God, it's so appetizing, you know? He wants to kill off, like, the Death's Bite and whatnot, but that's not coming for a while.
We've seen Zalae be very conservative with this Harrison Jones over the past couple days.
Just a conservative player in general.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's very telling of, like, which is funny because Druid's it's usually proactive.
Yeah.
But his Warrior and his Handlock, it's very, like, grind to the finish. I'm going to take you to 30 cards.
Yeah.
Even if it costs me, like, 5 hours of my life, you know, like.
His deck choices even are a little bit conservative.
Yeah. For sure.
Just a conservative kind of guy.
I bet he's all for a small government, too.
He's even got conservative facial hair.
Yeah, it's very tame in general. Generic black hood. No, this is just like, I think we're reading a little bit too much into it.
Yeah. It's worked out for him, though. He's made it this far.
Well, sure. I mean, a lot of times playing standard and safe is the way to go.
Darkwonyx is
A lot of
sort
times,
the
though,
opposite.
my heart does end up leaning towards the people who are more wild and creative. That's why I really like Darkwonyx personally. If I can just let some bias show, as if it hasn't already. But here, from Zalae's perspective, Violet Teachers can really start presenting a problem for the same reason that Paladin tokens can. So if I was him, I'd be tempted to start putting Violet Teachers out, start controlling the board a little bit.
Violet Teacher, Coin Wrath.
Yeah. If it's like Spectral Knight doesn't do much, and he just actually dies
To what's on board.
to what's on board, and it's not even that high impact. I guess I'd be okay if Spectral Knight came out and then you attacked with the Shade. Then it'd be like an appropriate like two punch combo.
Yeah.
Is that what they say in fighting? I don't know. I don't fight.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not much of a... I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer. We're all gamers. It's like, yes we are. Yes we are.
Yes, we
Don't
are.
need to shout it at me.
Well, he went with the Spectral Knight, and it feels okay to just get rid of it.
Well, you want to. The problem is you also want to leverage your armor while you can, because most likely that Shade, when it attacks, you're going to reset your armor again. Unless you use this Acolyte to bait. I think that like Darkwonyx was really looking for Sludge Belcher, some way to slow the Druid's roll, because even though Druid hasn't done much, there's still a lot of built-up pressure.
That's true.
Oh, I was not thinking about this. Just like answering with the board and like forcing Druid to pick up trades. So
I'm not sure though. Whoa.
So you have ways to remove. You have to kill off that Acolyte first as a priority, so that way you don't give him like additional draws. So you wrath it, right? Or do you attack it you full on body it with like the Spectral Knight?
You're wasting so much damage there though.
Well, it's like 1 damage overkill, I suppose. This is starting to get a little bit complicated because of how deep it's gone. Like, also, how long are you gonna wait for the Shade to come out? Pretty soon, it's gonna be able to get removed through PGH.
I think you just keep the Shade stealth here, throw the Spectral Knight into the Armor Smith, and then, well, no, this would be really weak to Brawl.
That is something in the back of his mind.
Yeah.
But the board is also loaded enough where Brawl hurts Darkwonyx a lot too. He's giving up a lot of his movement.
But if you're doing this play, you're only leaving
So you're gonna Wrath this for
Wrath
3.
it for 3 and keep his Shade stealth, maybe. If he's really playing around Brawl, he'll take the Shade out now to get rid of some of this armor.
Yeah. Seems like a reasonable compromise to do it.
Yeah. Nope.
He holds.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Spectator
mode fake out.
You
That
troll!
juke. Whoa!
Well, if he wasn't playing around Brawl, then he would have been punished.
Well, there's no really way to play it otherwise, unless he was like coining
That's true.
and hero, like using his hero power.
I think you're not going to really get much better than this for Brawl. Well, you can get better than this, but what other ways can you answer this turn? Brawl it is.
Well, it is a little risky if the Spectral Knight survives, because he can't kill it off. But, in fact, he can't kill off the Shade either.
Oh!
Ah, but his own cool Taskmaster survives.
Gotta be happy about that one.
I think he's really happy.
He's running low on cards, but he's got answers.
Yep. The best part is now he'll be able to kill off anything. And also, by the way, Druid's at 13 life.
That is... I didn't even notice that. That's pretty crazy.
And Zalae missed his opportunity to use Harrison to pick up anything else significant. Double Innervate is almost as weak as it gets.
Violet Teacher, double Innervate, swipe, hero power, coin.
What are you even saying?
Okay, if you Violet Teacher, coin, double Innervate, you can swipe face and then...
Yeah, you could do that. You might as well just
concede
yeah,
instead.
or
That'd probably be a better choice.
yeah, or I mean,
Well, I think Violet Teacher's well, I don't know. Is Violet Teacher the right play?
you can't synergize stuff very well. Black Knight, you know, you'd rather save it. I think Coin Swipe is okay. There's like a reasonable amount of power on board to like threaten it, and then like 5 power on board is decent. You're also playing a little bit outside the range of shield slam, or
Yep.
sorry, shield slam, because you need shield block to get it.
You don't like Coin Swipe Face, Innervate, Hero Power?
You know what? I think I would have liked that Innervate to come out.
2 Innervates is a little bit overkill sitting in your hand, especially when your hand is small.
But if he picks up Ancient of Lore, he can like Ancient of Lore double Innervate Harrison if his opponent
wow.
if his opponent ends up playing a weapon.
That's true. I guess this early it's a little bit more flexible because we haven't even reached turn 10 yet.
Well, Harrison certainly will come down here. It's about how he pairs everything together. Okay, so he's going to choose to remove the Violet Teacher here. Excellent choice. Harrison Jones, on the other end, will most likely come down, barring a much better draw.
I don't... Unless it's Ancient of Lore, I don't see a much better draw.
It's not bad.
That's okay. We're at the point now where you're starting to run out of juice a little bit.
Do you play Power of the Wild right after this?
We'll see what you get.
Okay. Reasonable. Man, if he kept his Violet Teacher, that would have been so
Yeah.
bad for Darkwonyx.
With no brawl, this would have been disastrous. But very timely brawl.
I'm pretty sure you just want to rat this for 3 and then hero power. Actually, you can use
an
both
innervate.
innervates here. If you like innervate, if you wrath, innervate hero power, innervate power of the wild, you have a pretty reasonable amount of damage on board.
That's true.
You have 10. And like, I'd be in favor of that. I don't know if I want to wrath for 1 though.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna keep his Power of the Wild though. He wants to use it on Black Knight.
Yeah.
Be a little greedy.
A little bit greedy, but I think this is still a good play. And holding on to the Innervate to open up more opportunities for that if he draws an Agent of Lore as well.
Ends up not paying off. Look at what he just drew.
Yeah. Darkwonyx has had some pretty clutch draws
Yeah, for sure. The
in
brawl.
this match. Brawl and then Deathbite right
Deathbite.
now.
But this match, you're gonna need some clutch draws and lucky moments if you're the warrior.
Yeah,
That's because
that's
Druid's tough. Oh wait, I'm just like looking and it's like Druid's at 9 HP. What? It's like if he draws a Gromosh, he kills him
he's
next
just
turn.
dead.
Like you set up the Deathbite so that way.
How did he even get that low? I guess he took a lot of damage
yeah,
from
he
using his
kept
hero
using
power.
his hero power to trade. You kill off Harrison for sure. Don't need to take that extra 5 damage over the next couple turns.
Which a lot of the times in this matchup, it's the Druid that just sort of falls into lethal.
Right.
But in this game, it seems like it could be the other way around.
All right, I think we're almost all in, boys. I think we go Black Knight, created Panther, and then Power of the
Power of the
Wild.
Wild. I like that.
Unless, do you like double buff? Because it's about the same power spread across. No, actually, you get one more. You get a little bit more power by creating a 3/2. I think.
I think spreading the wealth a little bit more is better.
Yeah. So instead of a 5, instead of a 6/7 and 3/3s, you'd have 5/6 and a bunch of 2/2s.
Yeah.
4/3. The stat distribution
But we,
leans a little bit towards the Panther.
but we both know with how conservative Zalae is, he's not a big fan of spreading the wealth.
Wow. I guess there's that. Add that to the list of things you don't talk about at a dinner table. Religion, politics, and Hearthstone.
No, I meant in relation to Hearthstone.
Yeah, I know.
Digging too deep into that one. Jeez. Whoa.
Well, this is, I mean, I guess he's just going to go for middle of the road. Like, enough power to make him worried. Oh, okay, so he's also, like, not going to commit because of the Savage Roar Force of Nature. Okay, insta-call here. You draw off this Acolyte. Kill off the 4-3.
Yep. This is pretty good.
Oh, kill off the 2-2, I guess, apparently. Take less damage. Oh, he's going to shield slam it. That's
Okay.
fine.
Well,
That
could be big. And he's going to throw out the big game hunter here to set up for opportunities for him to kill him next turn.
it would be. He's just afraid of a Dr. Boom, or if his opponent has a Ragnaros himself. Also, if the 2-1 simply attacks into...
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
I
just like... If the Apprentice actually kills into the big game hunter, it doesn't even set up lethal.
Yeah, maybe holding on to the big game hunter might have been the better choice in that situation, but we'll see.
Alright, well, Savage Roar is only one piece of the combination. Zalae's best response is actually to play his Black Knight, so that way he has the best chance of survival.
He's getting through a lot of his deck, and he hasn't drawn the Ancient of Lore yet, and
Yeah, it's pretty
either of his
unlucky.
Ancient of Lores yet. He's got the Innervate to be able to make a bigger play out of that as well, but he needs that next turn, or else he's most likely dead with what he has. He's thinking, what are the other options here? Black Knight and just trading in, and Hero Power in the face. Is he gonna hold on
he's
to
gonna
it?
hold off on it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's pretty much a red carpet laid out for Ragnaros with a stream of photographers and a bunch of very attractive ladies in in red dresses here, just awaiting the Fire Lord. I mean, come on.
Picture that in your head right now, what you just explained.
I did, and it was glorious, and I wish
Okay.
I was part of it, but I'm not.
Alright, well, I don't know what he's even thinking about. This seems like it's ragtime. This isn't even
The question becomes, when do I play Alex Straza?
This isn't even a YOLO rag at this point.
Also, what if he has BGH?
He just played his BGH.
No. What if his opponent had BGH?
Oh.
It's like, basically two questions. When do I play Alex Straza if Ragnaros gets killed? Because then I have to heal my opponent or hit myself. And the second question is, what if he has BGH? Like, which is the better play? If his opponent has BGH, then Alex Straza is the right play here.
Yeah. Alex Shaw's
I think you Alex Straza yourself if that was the case. I wouldn't want to put himself.
Either way, though, you're Alex Shaw'ing yourself.
Well, because you're at 16 health. Even if he has Innervate and combo, he wouldn't be able to hit you.
Okay, that's true.
2 HP. Zalae might just be dead.
Oh.
Okay, this Ancient of Lore needs to draw so big right now. You can't afford to heal, right?
Oh, no. Because you heal, you're still lethal on board.
Like, this
in the
Ancient of Lore needs to
rackets.
pick up a really small minion so that way Rag can hit it. Or you can Innervate something out. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Innervate, Spectral Knight.
Yeah. You don't even need to worry about hero power.
And this Acolyte is like, I'm helping. I want to do 1 damage. Please. Oh!
Okay, so it's going to be a 50-50.
Right there, and Sylvanas to back it up is great.
A 50-50 to win, but even if he doesn't, he's in such a
Right.
good spot.
Oh man, Zalae needs a lot of help to get out of this one. He needs to hit the Spectrum Knight and then draw combo next turn. But it's not gonna happen.
Wow.
Darkwonyx takes it. I'm not used to that.
No, not at all.
Ragnaros realized it was his time to shine.
Darkwonyx.
He hit platinum, and it was finally time to top the record sales and go for the gold. It was very, very well played.
Yeah, very fun ragtime party. So,
Yeah.
Darkwonyx going to take game 1. He played well, had some really timely draws. The Brawl and that second Death Spike coming out right when he needed it to. And Zalae, unfortunately, he had chances to push early on, but it was just stopped in its tracks. And he drew that Ancient of Lore just a couple turns too late.
Yeah, several turns too late. He had double Innervate at one point, kept in case he needed to like draw Ancient of Lore into. Like I've seen Ancient of Lore Innervate Ancient of Lore sometimes, and just like whoa, just completely snowball. Now what happens here? Because his Paladin goes up against Warriors, Zalae's in a very awkward spot. And then of course, I'm just gonna say Zalae's favorited in game 3 because I don't know what this deck is good against from what Darkwonyx's point of view is.
We'll get to see how it matches up against Handlock, though.
Right.
Which is, the decks aren't really similar at all.
Sure.
But I guess this is what Darkwonyx would be taking over this control Warlock deck if he didn't take this. But I'm curious to see how it's going to match up, though. But it seems like Zalae would have the advantage in that situation.
Yeah, it definitely would seem like that. But here we go, game number 2, Paladin versus Warrior. Giving the edge here to the Paladin player, that's Darkwonyx. As the longer the game goes, the harder it becomes for the Warrior to effectively deal with the building pressure of 1/1 tokens. Although, I mean, there are ways for Warrior to navigate through, finagle themselves, capture a win.
It takes some pretty hardcore finagling, though, to be able to pull it
Even
out.
some casuals, okay. Just
Some casual finagling?
Sometimes Paladin just takes too much damage.
Just like some weekend finagling?
One thing that goes unsaid about that previous game was that Darkwonyx found ways to be aggressive against the Druid.
Oh, yeah.
Based off early pressure. Part of the reason why Zalae was at 2 health was because he was like responding. Instead of killing Spectre Knight, he like attacked the board aggressively.
Ignored it and forced Zalae to be the one who was making the trades.
That's a play that a lot of people would not make.
Well, you said it, Darkwonyx is one of the most experienced Control Warrior players out there.
Yes.
So, not surprised. Now Zalae's going to have his turn with the Control Warrior. But I think Darkwonyx's deck is pretty, not tailored, but it's heavier on the control side.
For sure.
And I think
Alex, was he playing Alex Strasha? No, that was a life coach. Life coach was playing Alex Strasha.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get to see Darkwonyx's whole deck.
No, we did not.
But he plays Cairn, and he also plays Guardian of Kings.
We might in this matchup.
Oh, he plays Wild Pyro. Okay.
Yeah, it's control.
Before, when I was arguing against the fact that it was control, I didn't see any of the Wild Pyros. So I saw a lot of the stuff that would be included in mid-range.
Okay.
So, touche there, little buddy.
Well, now if you're Zalae, you haven't actually spent any of your early game mana to like control the state of the hero powers. It's still risky because what if he just coined out Quartermaster and just like started pressuring you?
That's very true.
You know, thankfully for Zalae, that's not the case. Darkwonyx has a very slow start. No, dude, you launched the rocket after the game's ended. It's like we're good for liftoff, and then you like launch it.
I think that those are, since we're in spectator mode, those are
those
the
are
admins.
Our admins
Back in the
messed up.
back,
Yeah.
chuckling, having a grand old time, shooting rockets off. Oh, God.
Hey, we're trying to work back here. Thankfully, one PC. No, they're hovering over. They want to do it. They're shining it up.
Oh.
They're lubing up the rocket launcher.
There it goes.
No! That's so bad manner.
Alright, well, we have liftoff.
Well, the good news is that Warrior is able to control the pace for a while, and then they have really good ways to like start pressuring. Just look at the hand quality of Zalae. Like, Paladin's taking it so slow that Dr. Boom and Baron Geddon and even like Alex Strasza might have a high impact on the board before Paladin can really like get into gear to start effectively picking apart the board.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we see differing a lot in this control style, that sometimes it can play it a little bit too slow against Warrior. And Warrior sometimes has the availability to just be super aggressive with their big threats if they draw them in tandem with one another, like back-to-back-to-back threats. Then sometimes it can just completely blow out a Paladin, especially if they don't draw into removal early on.
Do you kill off this? Do you kill off the Acolyte? Because if you play a Sludge Belcher and then he shield slams it, he draws another card. That's what I would be worried about.
But, well, I guess he wouldn't be too worried. Yeah, True Silver Champion seems okay there. What else are you going to use True Silver Champion to kill off in this matchup?
Well, there's a lot of mid-range minions, like your opponent's Sludge Belcher or Shield Maidens, Harrison Jones, you know, stuff like that. Armor Smiths, cool tasks. Pretty much anything.
Acolytes of Pain.
Anything that's like 6 mana and under. Just kill.
Acolytes of Pain.
Yeah, but like this is what he was gonna do. He's gonna use an execute and draw a card. And this is like one of the ways for Warrior to stay very relevant in the game. This is very good for Zalae to recognize how to capitalize on this matchup the most. You have to play very aggressively with your Acolyte draws. If I was Darkwonyx, I'd definitely deny the second Acolyte from drawing more than one card.
Yeah. So he tries it out the first time, and Sledge Belcher play didn't work out, but he's not going to be too behind off that one.
Right.
But this is really good. He's getting a lot of value off these early game creatures. And his hand is okay, but it seems pretty cluttered, and a lot of his cards are like reaction cards. Like he doesn't really have anything besides Guardian of Kings to just play.
Oh, well, I mean, Tyrion's always a thing you can just play too.
But do you really want to play Tyrion that early in this matchup?
I don't see why not. One of the biggest worries about Tyrion was back in the control early days was Faceless Manipulator, because how do you answer your own Tyrion? So that was like another thing that you always have to be considerate.
Yeah.
As much as I play Tyrion, do I have an answer to my opponent's Tyrion? But now that people really don't have Faceless, and especially in Warrior, sometimes plopping him down, if you have nothing else to do, is okay.
Okay. I guess
they have to silence and then shield slam it, or like silence execute it.
but then you don't have that big threat for later on, and it's not like they're using their big threats to answer your big threat.
But you're using the weapon to control the state of the board. Like all of a sudden, Shield Maiden just gets popped. All of a sudden, Sylvanas comes out, you just smack her. It's like Ashbringer's.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not condoning violence against our cards. I'm just saying that's what you do.
No, that's true.
When you have an Ashbringer, you chop off Sylvanas' head. It's just not. That's it. Go for the jugular.
Okay. Like how Frodan just made a motion with the card that he had in his hand as if he was a guillotine.
That was my nickname in high school.
The guillotine. I'm sure it was. I'm sure.
Oh man, well, I guess you're okay with giving him anything. Just like attacking a Sylvanas and just play Barongeddon, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
No, because then your bombs will die.
Well, okay, it's okay. It's okay because your bombs will die anyways. But if you kill off Sylvanas with the 5/5, and then it steals the 1/1, and then Barongeddon kills off your opponent's 1/1, and then hits your Barongeddon, then you actually line it up for True Silver. It's a little bit more complicated then, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Never mind then, that play actually can look really bad.
Well, this is okay, but I kind of like, he had the perfect answer in his hand to the Tyrion with Cool Taskmaster, Big Game Hunter.
Gonna trade in? Oh, the boom bot has been stolen.
I'd say that's a pretty good choice there.
Yep. I mean, he knows that in the end, Paladin's just gonna quality clear if it ever gets too dicey.
Yeah.
Boombot kill. Dr. Boom kill. Reasonable. Now Consecration actually does kill stuff.
Yeah. Well, he's got double Quartermaster in his hand. And Consecrate.
Yeah,
Wild
Consecrate's
Pyro.
reasonable. He doesn't need equality.
And he's thinking of what... I'd just say... What does he want to throw out, a naked Quartermaster?
I mean, it challenges the board. It might even absorb a shield slam.
So does...
It's like a very, very, very bad version of like the Oasis Snapjaw. Like if you just clean it out.
really bad.
Yeah, but like it's still enough that's like, do I have to remove this? It actually like challenges my board to a certain extent.
That's true. And having 2 in your hand could be a little bit of overkill.
Because the flip side of it is playing a 1/1.
Well, or a Wild Pyro.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the Wild Pyro as much, because now if you draw a quality, you don't actually have anything.
Yeah, that's true. He just used both of his, well, 2 of his sort of equality activators.
And now it's just like, you just plop, if you're a warrior, you just plop down Barongeddon. sit back and relax. Kick your feet up.
Do you like playing Harrison so early against Paladin?
Yeah, it's fine.
Just want to get value out of it as quick as you possibly can?
Yeah, the card advantage is a very big deal as a warrior player.
You're not afraid of Tyrion coming later on, or you just save a silence for that? Like Ashbringer is not a threat that you want to deal with? Because his hand, like I was thinking his hand, he had like Cruel Taskmaster, BGH, Harrison.
What now?
But that's sort of a lot of cards to hold on to just counter Tyrion with. But that's always a threat, and sometimes if Tyrion comes out late and you just don't have a way to answer, especially the Ashbringer,
Yeah,
it could be a big swing.
I was also thinking the merits of just plopping Alexstrasza, because you have like every single way to finish the game soon.
Yeah, and you know he just used.
But I think Baron Geddon is like such a good opportunity to like draw out the Aldors, the big games, the whatever he has.
And then it potentially makes your Alexstrasza play the following turn stronger.
Sludge Belcher. That is just so safe. So safe.
Well, that's.
I'm actually baffled because now it's like, instead of presenting a threat, like Sludge Belcher's a defensive posture, so like that allows Darkwonyx to just like drop down Dr. Boom.
He's got so many threats in his hand. His hand's just gonna get clogged with threats. I don't know if he's gonna find
Oh wait,
like time
He's
to play.
coining? Oh, he's coining for the damage on the armor smith. It's like I was a little confused.
Yeah.
So now he can Dr. Boom. I like saving the Guardian of Kings. Actually, Tyrion's okay too, but I like saving the Guardian of Kings for after Alexstrasza. You need to heal up a little bit post the damage.
I agree.
Here we go.
Alright, well, I think he can feel a little bit safer about playing the Tyrion now.
Right. No silence in hand. It's also a little bit hard because you can't just like kill it with Sylvanas and steal Tyrion. You need to take a little bit of a gamble. Such a big night and day difference though if you draw Sylvanas. He would have to cool Taskmaster the Wild Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Oh! Zalae can't help but smile at that one.
He doesn't show much emotion,
Yeah.
but when he does, all it is a sly smile.
You gotta apologize for that one.
Yeah. You gotta show him just how much you top deck and wrecked him.
Yep.
But what's the follow-up though?
It's really important for you to not get overexcited because you might oversee a better play. But this is like the ideal play, especially because you can fit in another mana efficient response. Like you can Owl, Shield Slam, and like Baron Geddon. Like, why are you waiting on the Baron Geddons? I don't understand.
He might shield Maiden. Judging by his plays.
Why wait on the Baron Geddons?
Why wait?
You're like, you have Gromosh in hand. Dude, you could kill him next turn.
I can take the hit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I was definitely expecting
Oh
the shield
man.
Maiden.
It's because he wants to beta all the removals because he knows his opponent has all the equality and the Aldor Peacekeeper. It's definitely another way to play, but it's one of those things where it's like you have every single answer and the big threat, your hand's so heavy. And you're like purposely playing the lighter stuff.
Yeah. Zalae's the guy that, if given the choice in a first-person shooter game, he'd choose to only have flashbangs and no guns.
Yeah, I guess so. No smoke grenades for sure for him. He never buys. He's like always buying Kevlar every single round. It's like, Zalae, this is a safe round. It's like, doesn't matter, I got my Kevlar in helmet. CS Go jokes. Good stuff.
Oh, man.
Okay, well. How about now? Do you Baron Geddon to try and control this board a little bit? Definitely not a board for Rag. Alexstrasza has never been weaker. At least on the board state. Well, maybe Alexstrasza and put him down to 7 health. You put him down to 7 health if you Alex Straza here. Even if he Guardian of Kings,
You still kill him.
he's up to 13 health. You don't kill him with Grommash and Cool Task.
Oh. Well, knowing Zalae, he won't do that.
Well, because then if he gets a quality clear, then it's like, man. But then if you do, you have Baron Geddon. You don't even need a quality clear if you Alex Straza, though.
You have to think ahead at this point, though.
Yeah, you have to plan like a 2 or 3 turn opportunity to kill your opponent. Like, if you try to play this attrition game, I really feel like Paladin's gonna beat you because they're so good.
Oh, yes.
Here we
He
go.
did it! It's a miracle, boys. All right, well, here we go. It's on Darkwonyx now.
Right. So here comes Garden of Kings, and then
Aldor Peacekeeper.
Aldor Peacekeeper.
And then, well, no, because you can't. Even leaving that 1 health on the board is still going to be the death of him. I think he has to try and find a way to full clear here.
Let me think.
How can he full clear without taking a single point of damage?
So he has to.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, actually, he might be dead. It was like finally an opportunity for him to recognize.
Wait, no. Can he quartermaster again?
Oh, you're right. That's sick. No, but he can't heal then.
Oh, yeah. It's a cool play, but not very effective.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try and give himself the best possible way to live.
Wow. Well, look at that. You know, the warrior beat the druid, and then the warrior beat the paladin.
Or the paladin. Yeah, that's a little backwards, but warrior is pretty strong, I'd say, right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They can always pull wins out of anywhere. And even though Zalae played defensive most of the game, he played aggressive when he needed to. And he found a way to take a win.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess poor Baron Geddon just sat on the sidelines.
Darkwonyx would probably be sad if he was watching this game, because he's a huge fan of Baron Geddon.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, here we go into game number 3, Warlock versus Warlock. This match is, well, I don't know what to expect, really. I don't know how this deck face off against Handlock. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like one of those cases like the 30th card is like a sacrificial pact. Because you know what? I implosion and sometimes I need to survive. And it's like, you kill his Jiraxis? Like, how did that happen? It's like, what?
Well, this is going to be the real test.
Here's another thing, too. I'm going to draw comparisons to Miracle Rogue, where, like, you're going to keep Handlock at a certain health for most of the game. And assuming you can deal with their threats, sometimes you just kill them with, like, Faceless Manipulator on the Arcane Golem, or even just Arcane Golem power, and, like, Dark Bomb.
But
That's 7 mana and 15 damage.
But how do you deal with the threats is the thing. It's the same way for
Right.
against
You don't
Miracle
have
Rogue.
Giant versus Giant.
Sometimes if they put up a wall, there's no way that you can deal with the threats while being able to put out the lethal damage on the same turn. And I think that might be the same case for this deck from Darkwonyx, but
Yeah,
we will see. Like I said, this is going to be the test for this deck.
That's how you deal with threats.
Twisting Nether. I forgot about Twisting Nether. That could be a big card in this
Is
matchup.
that something you legitimately keep because you need to keep control?
I
of the
don't
board?
think so. Well, there might be some merit in keeping it because you know this is going to be a little bit slow paced. You know that you're going to have
I
it
mean,
at some point to push
It
through.
could, but it also could ramp up very quickly if you turn 4 Giants. There is some merit, maybe, of keeping it, then. I don't know. Nah, I guess he just tossed it away.
Throws away everything but implosion.
It's just too slow. Way too slow.
Tosses a Mistress of Pain, gets a Mistress of Pain right back. And there's Darkwonyx and his Baron Geddon. They have a weird relationship.
No, not really. I mean, it's just they have a mutual understanding that he goes in most decks. So you drop the Mistress of Pain here, right?
Do you?
I don't know.
I
I don't know how to play this deck.
I have no idea.
Don't you want
seem-
it? It's on curve.
You seem pretty confident about that play, though.
Well, because 1, you get to tickle him, but 2, it's also like the case where if you draw a Demon Heart and you're like, your hand starts getting jumbled. I don't know. I don't know. Like, this deck's very funky to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't have straightforward plays, it seems.
Oh, we got Tap Zombie Chow. We finally got a Mountain Giant. Really nice play opportunity for Zalae next turn.
Ooh,
Implosion.
that's tempting.
Yeah, I think it's decent here. You have a 67% chance to kill it.
Yeah. I like those odds. We'll see if he can get it, and he does.
Heals it back up. And it's a way for him to affect... Because, I mean, the Fell Cannon wouldn't have done anything. Just does 2 damage to the Zombie Chow. It'd be really funny if you just choose the Hellfire because he doesn't trust the imps. 'Cause he knows he has a Demon Heart,
Demon
right?
Heart, yeah. I don't think you can play around it that much. When you have a perfect opportunity to throw out the Mountain Giant.
Now you Implosion again.
That seems
then-
like you're just playing right into Hellfire.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you might want to just Fell Cannon.
Power Overwhelming Fell Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does kill it off.
Seems reasonable.
I mean, the reality is, you just have to control the deck, until you can combo your opponent.
Which could come pretty quickly.
He's also 1 mana off from being able to Siphon Soul the next target. Something to keep in mind.
Well, you can deal with this one, and then okay.
Double power.
Well, Power Overwhelming seems like it's a big part of the win condition, so I'm not sure how.
So he's gonna Siphon next turn.
Yeah. I don't know how willing he is to give away a Power Overwhelming.
Well, he's got power and he's got second power overwhelming, so it's fine. He can Mortal Coil too off of this. Oh, I guess Dark Bomb.
He really wants to protect those imps.
I mean, they threaten with the Demon Heart.
Demon Heart.
I don't know.
There's so many ways that this deck can deal with things, but at the same time, it seems like when you're using Power Overwhelmings, that gets rid of your win conditions.
Yes.
Because
Yes
what
and
else is this
no.
deck gonna do?
Well, it's got Alex Strauss, it's got Baron Geddon.
Alex Strauss and Baron
It's like
Geddon.
those are legitimate threats.
But those are the only threats.
Well, you also have the combo.
But you're throwing away the yeah, I don't know. It's really tough. I guess you don't need that many pieces of the combo when you're playing against Handlock.
If Implosion rolls low, he can still Mortal Coil, so this is actually a pretty safe bet here.
See what he gets.
Alright, middle of the road,
Yeah.
so he can still Mortal Coil here. Reasonable. He doesn't even have to Mortal Coil. He can attack both into it, drop Mistress of Pain.
It would play around AoEs a little bit better.
Well, only slightly.
Well, he draws into the Twisting Nether, so he's going to have that. As
He was
an
counting his
emergency
cards, dude. He's at 9. Pretty soon, I mean, he can deal with any threat that plops down, and then he can Twisting Nether. And we get to see what Twisting Nether looks like post-GVG. Because
I haven't
Blizzard
seen-
also touched up some animations, right, in the expansion.
Yeah.
Maybe they touched up Twisting Nether and we don't know.
Nobody's 2 weeks in, and nobody even knows.
Well, because no one uses it.
That's true. Except Darkwonyx.
I mean, there's so many better epics that you're more likely to draw, like Sea Giant and Arena, like that you're most likely not going to pick Twisting Nether if it comes up.
I don't
You
think
pick Twisting Nether just to see how good it is.
I played this game for over a year, and I've never played Twisted Nether in any deck.
I pity you.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll go home and play this deck.
You should. This deck looks fun.
It really does. And I honestly have no idea some of the decisions behind this.
So I guess Zalae's under the impression his opponent doesn't play any anti-taunt tech. Oh wow, he's got Power Overwhelming and the Arcane Golem already. So we can start counting down from there. As long as he gets to the Faceless Manipulator, for 9 mana, he'll have 16 damage.
Wow.
Pretty sure he wants to Siphon this, doesn't he?
Yeah, because anything else that he plays is just going to get eaten up by the Twilight Drake.
Yep.
And then you're not going to really have answer for it next turn as well. So it's like, well, you're gonna throw down
Twisting
the
Nether.
Twisting Nether is true, but I don't know if he's gonna overextend into that.
He also has 10 cards. He needs to play something.
Yeah. Siphon Soul seems like the best choice. Fits his curve nicely. And okay, well,
Push a little bit. What's nice too is Zalae hasn't actually drawn that many threats, so like he can't actually push now. It's like all he can do is like barely control the board with his 2-3.
and that's not a threat either.
Right. So like because I'm pretty sure Darkwonyx is gonna drop Baron get in next turn, unless there's something else better.
Yeah.
So then what does he do in response to that?
Well, he has to. If you watched earlier, he's got to know that what's going on with
Yeah.
this deck.
I mean, the stream's on delay, but I'm pretty sure Zalae was paying attention.
Yeah. If you want to play and you're playing competitively, then that's the best thing.
The combo's assembled.
Whoa! 16 damage.
16
burst.
damage right now. That's not 9 mana. So Baron get in.
Baron Geddon seems reasonable.
Doesn't get him within 16 though. Almost nothing does. What if you like Fel Cannon's best played by itself too. Because Fel Cannon does stuff that's a non-mech, and everything is non-mech minion. Except itself, I think.
Yeah. Anti-Kill Bot, I think, would be the only mech that would exist in this matchup, aside from the Fel Cannon. I mean, he could Demon Heart as well. Like, he could play the Mistress of Pain and Demon Heart, but you kind of want to play that. It feels weird playing it on the same turn, because then your opponent can react to it. Kind of want to wait till you can be the one who dictates where that Demon Heart goes.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's leaning towards that.
Yeah, it's okay. It still like presents a big enough threat.
But not too big of a threat.
Attack. Void Walker to just stall. Oh. Oh my god, he's trying to bait a Hellfire.
Oh! Because if he Hellfires, it puts him at 16.
16 and
Exactly.
Then, yeah.
And then he kills him. Oh, jeez. And if he Hellfires here, he has no follow-up play.
Well, he can coin
Coin
into
Anti-Kill
Anti-Killbot.
Okay. That actually seems like a really solid play.
Yep.
But that's smart by Darkwonyx, if that's actually what he was trying to do, which seems very likely. He's happy.
Yeah, I think-
Darkwonyx is happy, and now he's...
I think he's gonna coin Anti-Killbot. If he No, he's gonna like play. Wait.
He's dead.
Is he gonna? He has to taunt this. He has to like coin taunt the zombie Chow. But he's not gonna do it because that's his only taunter. He's dead.
He's dead! What?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, and Zalae is gonna realize this, and he is gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
he throws out the well played.
The only way he could survive that was the Anti-Killbot.
He just wasn't expecting the
Oh,
combo to come
man.
out that quickly, I guess, or maybe he just wasn't paying attention and didn't know. A smile goes across Zalae's face, and he knows. He knows. He just got Darkwonyxed.
Okay, so the deck ended up working like we said. It was like the miracle-ish float until you get the ultimate combos. And we've seen this deck operate like that before in the past. I think Kalento was creating like a combo Warlock back when he was like laddering in the High Legends. And I know a few other people were experimenting with it too. So, well, it's won him 3 games already out of 4 today. He's only lost once with it.
That's impressive.
Pretty good. And now we enter the blind pick stage where once again he's allowed to pick this Warlock.
I think he's going to go for it.
And I think Zalae is free to pick Warrior because he's been favoring that class a lot in all of his blind pick stages.
Most of the time, regardless of whether or not he thinks he's going to go into a poor matchup, he seems to always go with that Warrior. And it's actually brought him quite a bit of success, especially yesterday. He had a lot of games where they were coming down to the blind pick phase, and he just picked Warrior twice in a row and take some victories. So
what this deck is like carrying Darkwonyx through to the tournament.
It's pretty funny.
He shouldn't be winning, but he is, and that makes a lot of the fans happy to see because it's like it's not just another deck that people have commonly seen. It's like, oh, he swapped out 3 cards or 2 cards, which does make a big difference sometimes. It's like, oh, Tides has Sneeds and Ysera. But the fact is, like, it has a completely own identity. You don't have Giants. You don't have the 9-mana demons. You don't even really have taunts other than, like, the Sludge Belchers. You just have raw demon power.
Even then, it's like you can't even classify it as a demon lock.
Right.
It's got a lot of healing is one thing that
it's
it
true.
has.
You don't even have Void Caller, which is like supposed to be what your main synergize the demon lock around. What is this deck?
Darkwonyx
All right,
Warlock.
I'm just calling it Control Warlock.
We'll have to ask him what he calls
Control
it.
Demon Lock.
We'll have to ask what exactly the deck name is for this Warlock that he has. It's probably just like Warlock.
I like the name of his Divine Shield Paladin he made a long time ago with like the pandas, the youthful brewmasters. He called it El Diablo
Why?
because it's like this is the deck from Satan or something.
Well,
Also because he was playing a lot of D3.
okay. So it's a product of his surroundings.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Paladin versus Warrior. This is the matchup that I think Darkwonyx wanted. Although, I mean, Zalae already won it in the past, so why not again? He's down 1-2, but that was the same position he was against Tides of Time, where once again he's going to have to prove if he can make the comeback. And with that opening hand, he may be able to.
That's pretty good. Pretty fantastic stuff. And this matchup was really close last time, but Zalae always seems to be the one that comes out on top of those close matchups with Warrior.
Right.
You say during the middle of the match some of the decisions that he makes, well, maybe that's too passive. Maybe that's too slow.
Right, and I'm wrong.
But then he always seems to find a way. But maybe this will be the time that Darkwonyx just takes this one. We'll have to see. Again, this is semifinal round. The winner just has to win one more series to guarantee their spot at the $20,000 LAN Finals.
That's right. So the Acolyte will not change the course, right? You're going to play Muster for Battle, attack it for 2 cards. Oh, I forgot about this card.
Drawing it early, I think, is a pretty big deal.
It's going to be so big. It's going to be massive. All right, now we're going to start taking pool bets. How big is Boulevard going to get?
10 plus.
10 plus? That's
Well,
that's so general. It's like BGH range. It's like, oh yeah.
16, Frodan.
Well, I meant just like a general guess. Like Price is Right.
Okay. Well, am I going to go with the safe one?
Which one? What are you going to go for?
Well, judging by his hand, it might even just come out. Well, I don't know, because he has Harrison as well. So there isn't even a progression where he might play it just on turn
curve?
5.
Like it's a 4/7?
Yeah.
I'm thinking more vanilla of a 4/7.
It wouldn't even be a 4/7 if he musters for battle.
Well, 3 of these minions have to die.
That's true.
Oh.
I'm not sure how early it'll come out. Either way, this sort of works out the same way. Because if he trades just into one of these, then
Right.
Whirlwind would be... Actually, Whirlwind wouldn't even matter. Anything would be the same scenario. He'd still get 2 draws out of this Acolyte. Unless he Cruel Taskmasters and throws it into a 1/1.
Right. It is a possibility. But I think he doesn't want to pass up on the second Acolyte.
Yeah.
Although it could be a realistic thing where he just overdraws. Because he's like, too many Acolyte draws. Which would be very humorous considering it's not what you expect.
You want as many draws at the Acolyte as possible.
It's the MVP, like the unsung MVP of the early game for this matchup. If the Warrior can draw a lot of Acolyte, it usually has a very good chance to scale into the late game.
If you notice, Darkwonyx, like, he keeps hovering over the Bolvar, like, just to make sure that it's still...
2/7. Okay.
2/7, okay. Just counting up.
So you said 16. I'm going to say it's more around the 5 to 6, 7 range.
You said I was being general, so I just went with a crazy answer. But it's very likely that it'll just come out, maybe even on curve. There's no weapons in hand. Harrison Jones probably won't come out, so it's likely that it'll just be like a 4/7, 5/7.
So then I guess Darkwonyx will most likely ditch his Light's Justice and kill off the 1/3 here. Or he can just choose to just try and make his opponent overdraw as much as possible.
Well, he's got 6 cards in his hand, so he'd only be able
Yeah.
to make him draw 3. Well, no,
4,
actually.
I guess. You make
4.
him burn a card.
Actually, no. You could.
I still don't feel comfortable doing that. It's like, yes, he overdraws by 1, and he might mill a card that's important. But like, most likely he won't. And not only that, it's like,
And then he's
now
got
he has
a-
a full hand.
Yeah.
And you have like 4 cards or 5 cards, I don't know.
It's more likely that he'll have better cards in his hand than what he overdrew. And you've told me this point a lot. If you maybe as a warrior, since you have pieces that win you the game, but overdrawing, it
I mean,
doesn't
he-
really matter until
yeah.
you run out of cards.
He already has Gromosh, and even Ragnaros. Like, I would dare say that those are like 2 cards. Well, Ragnaros maybe not in this matchup, but like, you have another legendary bomb.
He's even has Alex Straza.
That's right.
So he's got every piece. What could he
So
possibly
like,
lose?
he
that
wouldn't have overdrawn too much and lost something valuable. I mean-
Bulwark's only a 3-7 right now, right?
Oh, you're right, he is 3-7. It's pretty funny.
I don't think it's worth it.
You can trade it next turn and make it a 4-7.
Mhm.
Maybe even more, make it a 5-7. I actually think 5 is a good number here, 5-7, because then you can kill off anything. Shield Slam on the 2-2. Alright, 4-7 seems reasonable. Here we go, Bolvar. Saddle up. Oh, it's a 3-7.
What?
I thought it was a 4-7.
Yeah, so did I.
My apologies. That feels very feeble.
Oh, I guess he killed off the Acolyte of Pain last turn with the True Silver Champion and with the shielded mini bot. So I don't know.
Man,
I don't like Bulvar this turn
that
anymore.
was really anticlimactic. 4-7 was like, okay, you're like a really bad injured Blade Master.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, well, I guess he just sits here.
Yeah. Well, there's not really too much hurt in just holding on to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there's actually not much Zalae can do other than cool task. That doesn't feel great.
Not at all.
And you're not going to shield slam. You know what? He's at 10 cards. He has to dump one of these, right?
He's at 9 cards.
Oh, he's at 9 cards. You're right. It looked close to the edge.
I think the way our screen looks, the
Sure.
far left cards curve down away from us.
Okay.
So it looks like there's more cards than there are a lot.
So I guess he can just armor up pass.
Yeah, that seems to be the only play.
I guess he's like, well, no quartermaster, right? Like, wouldn't you want a quartermaster on that board too?
Yeah.
Just like put out 2 3/3s.
So I don't think he's really afraid.
He's giving time for Paladin to build resources, which is always scary too. All right. So now will Bolvar come out as a big game hunter?
He's got 2 big game hunters is the thing.
Ooh, he can make a how big now? He can make a 6-7 because it's a 4-7 right now.
He could.
Oh,
But
he's gonna
consecrates.
consecrate.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to consecrate.
he
Because then you
might-
could sneak in a hero power. You hit the button.
He might be lulled into a false sense of security knowing that Zalae played that BGH. I'm not sure if he realized earlier on that Zalae actually plays 2. I'm not sure if it came into effect any earlier in the
He
round.
might have. I mean, Darkwonyx might have watched the broadcast and saw how Tides lost. But doesn't matter. You still have a 6-7 beat Bolvar, which is like really powerful.
Yes.
Right now he's still a 3-7, right? As far as we know. Oh, 4-7.
4-7.
He sniped
4-7.
one of the 1/1s.
Yeah.
It's too bad that Twilight Drake and a few other cards don't do the same. It's like to keep track of what health it'd be.
I have no
Oh,
time
yeah.
for games.
That'd be interesting. Bolvar could be really hard to keep track. You'd have to have like a notepad to see
Right.
how many cards you died. Whereas the cards in your hand, you can easily just count.
Well, let's see. You kill off one of these. Kill off Sylvanas. You'll trade off your 1/1 and then play Bolvar. So then you have a 6-7. I just want to play Bolvar now, man. Also because I guessed around this range.
You want him to play Bolvar just so you could be right.
Yeah. That's the only way to go about it. Bolvar's a 5-7 right now.
Yeah.
He'd be a 7-7.
You don't like playing Sylvanas?
Sylvanas against your opponent, Sylvanas. I don't feel so good about it. Oh, here we go. Is it Boulevard time? Oh, yes.
A 7-7.
Oh. All right, how big will the roar be?
You didn't.
Sick. Well, now you actually have to execute this. The only way you can execute it is to use your face or to shield slam execute it. That's so inefficient. The alternative is to play shield maid and shield slam it for 5.
Ugh.
You challenge it,
That's true.
but it's like another thing. It's like Boulevard got value by killing off, by absorbing removal and then killing off a minion.
And Bolvar's a 5-drop. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
a 5-mana minion absorbs a 6 minion and your premium removals.
At the beginning of the day today, I wasn't convinced on Bolvar.
Look, I mean, the reality is Bolvar's not anything spectacular, but when he shines, I think he's excellent. And remember, he locked the game up against Kibler
It's true.
earlier in the day.
That's true.
Oh boy, is he face tanking it?
Yeah. You sort of have to think about it as just, oh, it's just a 5-drop.
Boom.
What else would you put in that slot that would have more
Man,
effect? 17 health already.
yep. Well, because he's taking some trickle damage from the hero power.
Yeah.
By the way, I believe... Okay, I was going to say, I believe that weapon belongs in the museum.
I think so.
Pretty sure it still does! I was like, he drew lay on hands, but that's pretty much the best effect you can get. And he gets to replace it, too.
Okay. Well, 8 mana here.
Alright.
Was Shield Maiden. Well, actually, you could just use the Fire War Axe here, and then Shield Maiden.
Yeah. You are getting back, it's basically the same life you lost, so you're
Yeah.
back to 18.
Paladin's not going to really burst you down, but at the same time, you know the game's going to go long, so maybe that helps a
you?
little.
I believe Darkwonyx has an Avenging Wrath in his deck.
Oh yeah, that's true. But how much
Yeah, I think he also just drew it, too.
is that really burst? I
Yeah,
guess so.
it
With
is.
equality,
You
it's burst.
equality, and then you,
But that's a whole turn. For
It's like you can equality kill off what's on the board and then Avenging Wrath for 8 damage, dude. It's actually a lot. I've died just from solely like Avenging Wrath kills.
maybe an aggressive Paladins. I've died before from that. But this is it's an interesting choice to put in. It actually did work in the earlier matches.
Darkwonyx is like torn because he really wants to save like Lay on Hands and the Guardian of King's Heal for post Alexstrasza, but he might not have a choice here. I think Guardian of King's Hero Power is his best bet. Most likely going to absorb a shield block or shield block, shield slam
Yeah.
type of combination here.
The other options are just really poor.
Yeah.
You don't want to use an equality on one creature. Throwing a Sylvanas down is just giving the Shield Maiden a free trade in.
Right.
Avenging Wrath would only be like a 50-50 to be able to take it down. Well, no, not even. Well, I guess so, yeah. It's a lot more complicated math involved, since each individual hit is a separate chance.
Wow. Great draw.
Yes, it is.
Because before he had to just armor up, shield slam, and then essentially pass. But now it's like Shield Maiden fills in that gap perfectly. The alternative is to Alexstrasza, shield slam the whatever remains,
I can take
and like
the
be
hit.
aggressive. But I don't think that's the playstyle of Zalae.
No.
Because he could have been really aggressive, but there's no activator for Grommash right now.
It feels like he only plays Alexstrasza and goes aggressive like that when he knows that he can consistently end the game next turn.
Bolvar's pretty sick, dude.
It's gone.
Bolvar's
It's dead.
a man amongst boys.
He goes to the 5-drop party and just he's the king of the 5-drop prom.
He gets carried in by Silverhand recruits. So, do you feel like this now isn't a time of equality? It does 7 damage. You can dream bigger, for
Yeah.
sure. There's bigger fish to fry.
You don't like Sylvanas?
Oh, Sylvanas is actually okay too. You're right.
I like Sylvanas. It's really tough to deal with.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Sylvanas is decent.
Because you, with 2 5-attack creatures on the board, you
Can't trade.
can't trade both of them in to avoid losing
But
something.
what he can do is attack the 5/3 into the 1/1, and then trade, and then chop it down with his Fiery War Axe. Avenging Wrath!
Oh!
Pew, 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 pew.
You know, it is entirely possible that the Avenger Wrath goes 8 shots to face.
Right.
It's very, very unlikely.
It's happened before. I'm pretty sure Trollden's captured some of those moments. On
It has.
YouTube. Great draw.
Because if you think about it as each individual shot being a separate chance,
Right.
like just flipping a coin 8 times.
Can you? Yeah, I can't imagine playing Avenging Wrath on like a tabletop setting with like dice just rolling every single time.
Yeah. Don't even play it just because it's too annoying.
All right, Dr. Boom comes out.
Handful of threats.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, he does have second equality in an emergency situation, but this is it's so tough to deal with these boom bots effectively. You have to really think your play through, and this is a pretty decent way.
Right. It's a good way to stop it if you play Sludge Belcher afterwards.
Yeah.
It's very clean. I like it.
He's thinking about Sylvanas.
They both have good pros and cons. Like Sludge Belcher, of course, stops it from, like, if you play Sylvanas, if he Alex Straza and smacks you in the face, you remember what happened? He was down to 8 health and he couldn't actually stabilize.
Yeah.
That's always the power of Alex Straza, just like the goofiness that it can happen. And like the fact that the bomb hits the face twice is really unlucky for Zalae. Well, the first one, there's no choice, but the second time is like, that's 1 out of 4.
Yeah. And you haven't seen. Oh, has he seen Quartermaster this game? I don't
believe
think so.
he's seen
Oh yeah.
1.
No. Because it was Bolvar that was the 5-drop
Right.
in the hand earlier. So.
Well, that was a pretty big pickup too, to kill off the remaining Light's Justice.
That's a lot of card draw that he just gained too.
Yep.
His hand was getting thin. He had a lot of threats, but not too many answers left, and now he's got a lot more options and looking like he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Sludge Belcher comes out. I'm also convinced Quality number 2 might come out here. Yeah, especially with Lay on Hands.
Yep.
The problem with Lay on Hands is, like we said before, it's not post Alex Straza, so.
He won't have any heals for post Alex Straza because he's been through the Guardian of Kings as well. So that could be pretty dangerous, but I'm not sure how worried he is.
Well, I mean, this is not going to be very strong against Barongeddon, but Zalae did pick that up with his Harrison Jones kill.
Well, Zalae's at 12 health.
I mean, until it gets to the final finish line, though, I'm still feeling like Zalae's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, Baron get it next turn. Whew. Whew, doggy.
Barongeddon does put you down to 10 health, though.
But at the same time, there's no other way that you can leave this board up.
Right. It's just too much damage impounding.
Yeah. Just a Quartermaster alone would almost kill you.
Well, this is starting to get a little uncomfortable, because it's like, how do I deal with this? And you know your opponent has the ability to use, like, Alex Straza and other minions to start putting on a lot of pressure.
I have no time for games.
Yeah.
So, like, in Darkwonyx's mind, hopefully this deals with the Barongeddon.
Well, it will, but in a not so great way.
I think you just Alex. Oh, I guess you can't, right?
No, it's too much damage.
I mean, just kill off Sylvanas and then Alex Straza him.
Okay.
He's at 3 power on board. He's used both the qualities.
What other choice do you have? You can't leave the Sylvanas up, so you have to kill it off. And then what other play would you make after trading in for the Sylvanas? I guess you could clear as much as possible, but that seems just too safe. You could develop a Death Spite and throw down an Armorsmith. Armor up.
I like Alex Strauss after
Yeah.
this. I think you actually do have a pretty legitimate set of combinations. So he's gonna trade us in now. Oh.
Okay. Oh, he's setting up for lethal next turn.
Yeah.
And either way, the Sylvanas still isn't going to steal
He
him.
could have died if Darkwonyx picked up Truce over champion. Like Darkwonyx is 3 points off killing him right
Oh yeah? But I'm not sure how much he... Well, I guess he's seen the Seal of Light, so...
Right. So I think he's gonna he's forced to play something here to heal himself back up. Most likely the Lay on hands, because he's at 15 health anyways. 14 health, excuse me.
Oh, hello.
Okay. Reasonable. Now he can't leave this up, right? He's worried about, like, okay, so Gromosh comes down, Cruel Taskmaster, it's 12, it's 19, yeah, it's just way too much. You have to kill this off right here. Or you can Seal of Light. You can Seal of Light to try and push the issue and attack the face. Like, Seal, that's such a gamble. Oh man, if Darkwonyx does this, the balls on this guy.
Nope.
Okay.
He goes with the safe play. But, probably the smarter
Because
play.
if you played Seal of Light, you wouldn't have died, right? You would have just been under.
Yeah. And then, of course, Warrior always has tools to be able to gain back life, and sometimes going all in like that isn't the best choice. But now...
But now he's worried about dying in the same exact vein as he did last time. He needs to taunt up with Tyrion.
Let me think.
Tyrion and then even Seal of Light, right?
Yeah.
Hit the face.
Yeah, because you know Alex Jaws is gone, shield maintenance are gone. Even if he manages to take care of this Tyrion, the Ashbringer will still put on some hurt. Putting him at 7.
Oh boy, actually, how do you deal with Tyrion?
Cruel Taskmaster, big game hunter.
Ah, you're right. Cards are misaligned a little bit because of the board being shaken from
You can
vicious
just Cruel
minions
Taskmaster,
attacking.
big game hunter, Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, it seems pretty strong because your Alex Strauss still survives. I like it. Second big game hunter becoming super clutch.
Yeah, winning him a couple games today, and a couple of games yesterday as well. It's a pretty good read, too, saying, well, I'm probably going to play against a lot of Warrior. Probably going to play against a lot of Handlock. Double BGH is great in both those matchups. And looks like this is going to be the play. I don't think he's worried too much about like a silence and then go to face, because he still have a turn to be able to recover. And he kills him next turn. What is he thinking about? What could be a different play here?
I don't know.
Does he want to Armorsmith and go face to armor up a lot? With the Despite? Then he loses his activator. Alright.
Well. Oh! Oh man, I forgot about the Ironbeak Owl. So he's got a way to deal with the taunt, but he's got no way to activate any other damage to go for it.
Let me think.
He's dead.
I think so. I think once again the warrior has prevailed over the paladin. And I mean, I have to say that's like a lot of times it really does come down to how you're able to draw well with like the Acolytes of Pain to get started off.
Yeah.
Victory.
And the Harrison Jones as well was really clutch. It was just on the Lights Justice, but just the card draw alone.
Yeah,
You draw
the
three.
card draw, like look how deep he was able to get to the deck. That Sludge Belcher was able to really see, like it wasn't really that useful, but like it's one of those things where you get deeper into your deck the more answers and options you have.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And Zalae once again is in a position where he was down 2-1,
Ties it up,
ties it up,
sent
and
the game 5.
yeah,
He's a grinder. It doesn't seem like he comes out favorably at all in the first 3 games, but the last one, it seems like he's able to at least go really well in the latter phase, like the blind pick stages where you're just like, well, let's pony up and see what we got.
it feels like 50% of the time over the past 2 days we've been casting a Zalae match. But
Also, I feel like almost all of his series go 3-2.
yeah, 3-2, and it always like he's down and then just claws his way back up with Warrior. But probably going to see the Warrior again. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the same matchup that we just saw.
Well, he switched last time where he sensed his opponent might do something. Maybe he'll switch to Druid or something. I wouldn't know. And now all of a sudden it's game 5 once again. Will we be able to see Zalae try to upset his opponents? I mean, he's climbed through such a long bracket to the open stage, and now he's here in the semifinals.
Yeah.
It'd be such a shame for him to drop. But Darkwonyx also is a guy that you wouldn't be ashamed to drop to. It's just like disappointing because you're at the very late stages of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. You do have to keep in mind these players will be invited back next week, both of these guys. So,
Assuming they don't win the whole thing.
assuming they don't win the whole thing, but even if they drop out right now, their run in the Legendary Series is not over.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to sort of start fresh next week and try and climb the way back. But we are going to get into the match played here, and Darkwonyx switching it up, going
Goes with
with
the warrior,
Warlock.
or goes with the warlock.
This is going to be exciting. I don't know how this deck is going to fare against the warrior.
If Warrior wins this one, Warrior has won 4 out of the 5 matches, and it's only because the third one was forced to a warrior.
Yeah. Well, I don't. This deck, I said it earlier, sort of reminds me of Warrior in a lot of ways. The way it plays, where you're just trying to control until late game when you can just go for burst and go for the Alexstrasza into the win turn. Just deals with the board in different ways than Warrior does.
There definitely is, like we said, there is one way for like one deck to carry you in this format, at least when you get to the late stages. And well, it has been this deck for Zalae. Now, I don't actually think there's legitimate targets for Big Game Hunter other than Dr. Boo. Oh, I guess Bear can get in. Oh, and Alexstrasza. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, can double BGH play a key factor here? And I was
can.
like, well, maybe not for a long time.
Well, Zalae also plays it seems. He plays the second BGH as sort of a flex. We've seen him play the first BGH as just a body early
Right.
on, in a pickle. When he's in a pickle, he throws it as a body.
It just feels so easy to punish. Like, if one Zoo player caught him,
Yeah,
I feel like Zalae would be dead.
he would be.
But no one played Zoo.
Well, he does have Handlock as a deck.
Right.
So, I feel like his deck choices were pretty good coming into this one. And he's made it pretty far. Mostly on the Warrior, but that Druid switch up on Tides was pretty genius. Well, it continues where I have no idea what Darkwonyx is going to do. This seems pretty inconsistent if he plays the Mistress of Pain, because every other time he's been in this situation where it's either tap or Mistress, he taps. And the surprise factor's over.
Yeah,
So-
there's
so-
really nothing else to be surprised about with this deck. I mean, some people are joining in like, you know, WTF, what is this deck? It's like a control warlock that has combo finishers.
Yeah.
Wow, that draw.
Double power overwhelming, on an Arcane Golem with Faceless Manipulator. Also has Demon Heart as well, which can be comboed onto like Imps or Mistress of Pain.
Well, that doesn't feel great. Shield slam onto a 3-3.
Nope. But I think he he realizes that he needs to preserve his armor the best he can.
I can ease your pain.
Oh, he's got Demon Heart. Oh my god, this combo can be so strong. But he's got Execute as well. I guess you're okay. You're tossing out the Acolyte to face off against a 1-4.
Well, that presents the question of next turn for Darkwonyx. If you really want to get value out of this Mistress of Pain, well, I guess, yeah, Dark Bomb would just be a pretty easy choice.
Yeah, you can Dark Bomb tap, and like, Mistress of Pain is still innocuous until like presented to be a threat.
Yeah.
So.
He might even Sledge Belcher.
I'm always really hesitant to like leave Acolyte to its own devices, just because of a cool Taskmaster.
Especially with Warrior, who just has, yeah, that's what I was.
I'm just,
It didn't process in my head.
I'm always worried about leaving the Acolyte because he's like got it's like 3 or 4 games in a row for Zalae, which is like getting the Acolyte value is what's costing him the early game advantage. But the good news is that there isn't a way to benefit off of it. No Cruel Taskmaster in sight. Like, you know, again, we talk about converting the Whirlwind into like a big game hunter.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that.
Well, he could. Sylvanas doesn't feel terrible.
Yeah, you already have so many bombs in the deck. How valuable is Sylvanas, you think, in this matchup? I wouldn't think it's that crazy valuable.
No. Well, maybe in Handlock it's a little bit more valuable, but against this deck, I'm not sure. I think you just need to throw it out there to try and stop him from
I have no time for games.
building up too much.
Interesting. What's that? What's Siphon Soul covering, by the way, between that and Dark Bomb? It's got to be like another card.
A coin?
Antique Healbot? No, that's to the
Antique
left.
Healbot is all the way to the left. It is a coin.
Oh, it is a coin.
It was 0 mana. I could see the 0 mana, so.
So I suppose you can Hellfire and clear this board, right? And then drop another Mistress of Pain.
Well, he would steal a slot. Or would you
No,
sacrifice?
you would attack into Sylvanas with your Sludge Belcher, then attack into with the Mistress, and then Hellfire.
Okay.
It seems reasonable, so
Yeah.
that way you don't give too much. You kill off Acolyte in one shot.
Demon Heart.
I was not expecting this.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay. Well, he gets rid of the armor. That's good.
Oh man. He's got a big coin. Oh, actually, he can steal that.
How?
Okay, so you attack. Oh wait, you execute this,
Attack in.
attack in, and
Then
then
shield slam,
shield
shield
block,
block, shield slam.
Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a lot of removals and stuff. But you steal a 6/9. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Darkwonyx wants.
And then you Siphon Soul it.
And
I don't
then
know.
he
I don't-
Siphon
I
Souls
don't, I
it.
don't know. That's what he wants.
No. Who knows what's going on in Darkwonyx's head right now?
I mean, Zalae definitely sees this play. And if you because you see it, you should shield block first.
But is it worth it? Is the big question.
That is a lot of removal to line up on one thing.
I don't think it is.
You don't think so?
Looks like that's what he's gonna do though. Or just Sledge Belcher. That's his delay play.
When in doubt, Sludge Belcher. So he can try and set up like a poor Sylvanas steal. Oh, he can barricade it? No, that's really bad.
Blood Mage Thanos, 2 damage Mortal Coil.
Oh, that's pretty nice actually. Yeah, you take you kill off the first body of the Sludge Belcher and then you Mortal Coil it. Or even Mortal Coil the Sylvanas. Flip the coin there.
I like this. And they're also making it so like, oh well, you're giving him a better target to steal with Sylvanas. For you. Blood Mage
It's
Thanos,
risky.
it is very risky.
This is a really cool deck.
Yes, it is.
I'm definitely gonna go play it tonight.
It's got a lot of. You have to think every playthrough because there's so many options.
Like I promised to go see some friends tonight, but I think I might play this.
the life of a gamer.
All right, he's got to move quick. Mortal Coil onto Sylvanas. Oh, it's not the slime. Which is it?
Oh.
Oh, that was a fake out. I was like, oh.
That Sylvanas seemed to take like extra long.
Yeah.
To die and steal. I think he's pretty happy with that.
Yeah. It's actually I think he would have liked to give away the slime.
Yeah, but this is second best.
Right. Well, actually, this still stops him from just killing off his Thanos straight up.
Yep.
Thanos can actually have a really big impact with the implosion.
Ho ho.
But I'm pretty sure the execute goes down here, right?
Yeah.
Execute and then
always draw to see what you get.
well, you just play the armor smith, I suppose, start gaining armor.
Oh man, you can gain health and armor. How are you ever supposed to kill him?
Well, you actually don't gain past 30, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But just in case, you know? Just in case that Mistress of Pain lives forever.
Oh boy, here comes the rope. Shield slam on the 1-2.
Hello. He's been throwing out that removal like it's going out of style. He's
trying to make him overdraw.
My hand is too
Void Walker.
So he's like, all that for a Void Walker?
Shield slamming the 1-2. Basically, I mean, you forced him to discard too.
Yeah.
Is it really that bad? I don't know.
He's out of shield slams now, though. He's used both. He's the first one on a Earthen Ring Farseer, and the second shield slam on a slime.
So what you can do, you can Hellfire, Mortal Coil the 1-4, and then Implosion. After you coin, you have 9 mana at your disposal.
Well, if he was gonna do that,
okay. Well,
he's doing
just
it out of
chooses
order.
to do it straight up. I mean, Darkwonyx has been rolling pretty well on almost all of his
implosions.
implosions.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not. I guess it's
not
a decent. I guess. Well, I'm saying
me your ways, TJ.
I'm saying that it's not that much of a variance. Like it's not like Crackle. That one number makes a big difference.
so many possibilities.
Because that's a large percentage that increases your chance of rolling high.
Almost out of time.
Because he's been rolling the average most of the time. Like he's rolled 3, which is what you'd expect. It's the value that you'd expect to get out of it.
Well, if you're really in tune, I don't see a problem with dropping Alexstrasza. I know, I guess it's just like a playstyle thing, but I just like when you see the opportunity to be aggressive, I don't see why you don't have to be.
Yeah. Well, what is else he going to do in this situation?
Well, you know, set up a weapon.
Set up a weapon and
draw more
Acolyte.
cards.
But does he really want to do that? Like he's been throwing out his removal,
right,
like crazy. It seems like he's just afraid that the longer this game goes, the more opportunities Darkwonyx is just going to have to break it open.
Right.
But this deck has a lot of healing.
It does, and it's got a lot of removal too. That Ragnaros won't have a high impact either.
Not at all.
Do you Dark Bomb this? Maybe. So that way, I don't know.
He's at 30 health. That's not posing that much of a threat. It's not like an Armor Smith where he can just gain infinite amount of life. But I guess it could be a nuisance. Could be a way to.
Well, surprisingly, it's like it's this one variable that might complicate Ragnaros being dropped.
That's true. Well,
Because now it's like, well, Ragnaros gets. Oh, never mind. It's like, because Ragnaros gets complicated, but I guess it makes it a lot easier when you have this.
now he sort of gets rid of the way that he can reliably win though, with throwing away the Alcatraz that early without like a win condition in his hand.
I mean, it's
He's seen it before that this deck can just heal back up really quickly.
yeah. You do bring up a good point. He has double anti-heal bot.
Yeah, he saw at least one anti-heal bot in the last match. And if he was watching earlier on, he knows.
Well,
So
then, one of the foolish things he can do then is to grab a weapon, swing in the face, because then Darkwonyx just heals up. Oh.
well, he wasn't listening. Wasn't listening to you, Dan. He cares not. Well, he's got some of the pieces.
Right. I mean, now Darkwonyx is afraid of dying, so he's definitely going to anti-heal bot. I don't think he minds tapping, though.
Double anti-kill bot, and all of a sudden, there goes Alexstrasza. Wow. 29 health.
Well, I guess you
Look at Zalae's face.
yeah,
He's
I
saying-
guess you attack the face with the weapon because you know, you're not going to just spend it killing the 1/1. So.
Yeah. Throws out the well played.
That's pretty funny.
He's pretty amused by this deck as well.
I wonder how deep both of them are into their deck, too. I think this might go to fatigue.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I said earlier is this Warlock deck might lack in damage a little bit, but he does still have quite a few big threats. He has Alexstrasza. He has Baron Geddon. And if he can keep the armor total relatively low, then that combo does 24 damage. So after Alexstrasza, he can even burst through like nearly 10 points of armor. So
Yeah, it's true. Looks like we're in it for the long haul, though.
Well,
Although I'm still like wondering how Darkwonyx wins this game.
yeah.
Because like after a while, like his BGHs will like stop Darkwonyx from ever having like legitimate threats. Oh, that's actually a pretty decent draw.
As soon as we see that it's Zalae versus whoever, you know that we're in it for the long haul.
Yes, absolutely. Coin Alexstrasza. I mean,
You got to start pushing some
Yeah.
point. At least this way he'll have a chance to chip off some armor as
because
well.
he's got Power Overwhelming. Wait, he's got 2 Power Overwhelmings, right? He hasn't used any of them, so there's 24 damage possible. Like,
But he
this is
does-
going to definitely get BGH'd.
But he doesn't have it right now.
No, not yet, but he was going to get closer to it eventually. So,
He knows that he's gonna play Shield Maiden in BGH.
yeah.
I know it because he's scarred from the last game.
So they might also be like taking notes and like writing down what like Darkwonyx may have played previously and like triple checking his notes or something.
Yeah,
Like it's a very realistic possibility where it's like, I just have to make sure I know what he has.
yeah.
What now?
So he's gonna play Big Game Hunter. Harrison Jones is not really that useful in this matchup. No Jiraxis to blow it out.
Yeah.
I've got
Get
the
both
beast in
BGHs
my
in his
sight.
hand right now. And then I'm sure Shield Maiden. Actually, a Sludge Belcher could serve the same purpose, and that way he can armor up as well.
Oh wow.
Whoa. If he had the combo in his hand, it'd be exact lethal. That's bold.
You're right, that is bold.
What was he afraid of? Why didn't he play either of those? Not even a Sledge Belcher?
Well, I feel like Sludge Belcher's coming out here now. It's like second BGH, Sludge Belcher. You get both of them out of the way.
Zalae looks really stressed right now. I don't know if he was expecting that. Wow. This is intense.
Yeah, here comes the second Sludge Belcher though, for sure.
Yeah.
You get to not get impatient if you're Darkwonyx.
Oh.
Second power's here.
You have to play his game right now. Play it slow. Flush him out.
Yep. Sludge Belcher.
Hellfire Fell Cannon.
Yep.
Oh, the value is just oozing out of that cannon right now.
So
It
many
is,
possibilities.
although it still dies relatively easily, right?
Well, it died to a death bite.
Oh man, the Hellfires. He has to be careful not to die too. Like, he's getting pretty low on health himself.
And he's running out of life gain. I mean, as
He's
much as
got
this deck can, he's
yeah.
got Siphon Soul and Earthen Ring Farseer left, but you think about it, let's see, 2 Siphon Souls, 2 Earthen Rings,
Right.
plus double Antique Heal Bot. That's 28 points of healing that he has in this deck.
I mean, Darkwonyx is still just looking for his big combo maker, but Shield Maiden puts it out of range. So he's going to use his weapon. Oh, he's going to execute.
If he weaponed it, then it would put him right back in range.
Right.
So he's playing around it well.
28. Farseer and Sludge Belcher do stall for a little bit.
And this damage can start sneaking up on him because this combo is just from the hand alone. Doesn't factor in what could be on the board.
I mean, Zalae's understanding of it too. It's like
Yeah.
his opponent wants to combo him.
Yeah.
He might not be suspecting the second power overwhelming though.
Yeah, he didn't see it. Darkwonyx held off on it. He did a great job of concealing cards earlier on. I mean, of course it is possible if Zalae was watching throughout the whole thing that he'd know that he would have seen it, but we just don't know how much intel these players have, how much they were doing. We have the webcams on now, but they're not on forever.
I think he's going over all the possible combinations to try and see if he can set up for a lethal in case he draws it. He's so close. There's like 5 cards remaining in his deck. And his opponent's at 28.
Well, if he Hellfires and Dark Bombs, he would have, if he drew the Arcane Golem next turn, even if his opponent armored up, he'd still be in lethal range. But that would be so telling if he did that. Like if he Hellfired
Maybe.
and Dark Bombed face.
Oh, you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
3 cards remaining. He's still waiting on that Arcane Golem. Oh, I think it is pretty telling what he's got. You're not fooling anybody, Darkwonyx. Who are you trying to fool?
At this point, it doesn't even matter if he's trying to fool anybody. He knows that he doesn't have many cards left in his deck. He has to make a move.
25, 27. Is there any way for him to avoid this lethal?
What now?
Silence the
Yeah.
Sledge Belcher and Rag?
Well, silence it, kill off the 3/5 weapon, and armor up. You're at 25. No, you still
You'd be at
die.
24.
Whoa!
He
Did
knows.
Darkwonyx spot a lethal?
Oh!
That was really hard, like, to be able to calculate all of that meticulously.
Yeah.
Of, like, all, it's like, what if I lose every single minion, and he armors up? Like, what if he has a weapon to kill it off? I have 2 3-attack minions to challenge it directly. Zalae is running out of time, and I think this might be the game right here.
Darkwonyx has 3 cards left in his deck, though.
He can
still
draw
has to draw
the
the Arcane
Arcane
Golem.
Golem.
That's going to be big. So he did all this planning, this meticulous planning, trying to spot this out just to give him like a 1 in 3 chance to win. And this Rag has to hit the Earthring Farseer. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh, he breathes a sigh of relief.
But it's not over yet because now he's got Implosion, and Ragnaros will go down. That's like the perfect combination.
You don't Twisting Nether here? You're not afraid of dying?
Well, if you like, Implosion challenges the 2-1, and then you Siphon Soul the Rag.
Okay. And then you're still in a good position.
Right.
But then you're not threatening lethal next turn.
Oh, you're right. So I guess you Hellfire Siphon Soul? Yeah, Hellfire
Yeah.
Siphon Soul sounds
Hellfire
reasonable,
Siphon Soul.
too.
Yeah.
If only you could tap the guarantee. I don't think he's aware of Barongeddon, though. I think Barongeddon's one of the things that, in the back of his mind,
But Barongeddon also
does 2 damage.
does 2 damage to
So
himself.
he's still at 25.
Yeah.
Actually, Hellfire was the right play there, then.
I think so. Well, we know that of the 2 cards left in his deck. Yeah. One is Arcane Golem and the other is...
I don't know, maybe another Void Walker or something.
I think he would only play 1 Voidwalker. I'm not positive on that.
Zalae's chance to stay alive here heavily depends on his Barongeddon play, right? Oh, well, I guess if you just armor up normally, you'll be fine. Just like, kill off one of the 1/1s with the cool Taskmaster, because you still have the Death Bite.
Yeah.
In fact, you can equip the Death Bite, attack, and then armor up. Your Shilster should be okay outside of range.
Barongeddon it is.
Oh, it is Barongeddon time.
Alright, well, he's still at 25 health after this with the armor up, so the Arcane Golem combo would be 1 damage. Fell Cannon! That's gonna kill off the Barongeddon! What?! And now we can't get out of range!
That's so funny!
And he's at 15
Fell
health.
Cannon, yeah. He's at 22. He only can go to 24.
Oh no!
No matter what he does.
Wait.
He's at 22. No matter what he
Oh,
does, he can't get out of range. Oh my god.
Darkwonyx wins.
There's no. He's like, there's one card
last
left.
card in
he's
his
like,
deck.
that's the last card. He
It's-
has to have it. And
What?
it's like, I can't get out of 24 range.
Wow.
There is a 100% chance that he has Arcane Golem next turn. And
you can
Zalae, he came so far. He won 6 or 7 series in the open bracket,
Wow.
or like somewhere around there. He won his 2 matches in the open finals Friday. He won his first match against Tides of Time, and Darkwonyx is about to gatekeep him from the finals
It is very likely that Zalae has played.
with his Warlock deck. This Warlock deck will be 4-1.
Wow, he knows it. You can see Zalae's face went
Yep.
from like hope to trying to desperately find an answer,
Oh man!
and he realizes, you can see on his face, the well play comes
The
out. There's the
cavalry
Arcane
has
Golem,
arrived!
and that is gonna do it.
Okay.
Wow.
Well.
And then we even get a close up of the Arcane Golem.
Zoom in and enhance.
Zalae knows. Well played, sir. Well played. And Darkwonyx is going to move on to the finals in a close series. Wow, that was exciting.
That was great. Well, you know, well played to Zalae as he gets top 4, and he made one hell of a run.
He
but
did.
It seems like he got stopped here, and Darkwonyx will be able to go to the finals, which gets him a lot of points at least. Even if he doesn't win, which I feel like he's in a good position.
Yeah.
This Warlock deck doesn't seem like it'll stop. It's 4-1 at the moment. You know, he still has his work cut out for him. Let's take a look at the bracket to see where we currently stand. We're about 5 series in. We have 2 more remaining. The winner of Show versus Magic Amy will go on to play Darkwonyx. And one person out of these 3 remaining players will be getting a ticket to California in February to play for $20,000.
And these 3 players that are remaining are 3 very good players. And I'll be excited to see any one of them make it to the finals. But, of course, all 4 of the players that made it to the semifinals will get invited back to 2 weeks from now, actually, since we are taking a break for the holidays. And they will get another chance. But Zalae, he had a heroic run through. It's very likely that he played like 15-plus hours of Hearthstone in the past week just to get where he is. But he'll have another chance. But congratulations to Darkwonyx for making it to the finals.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. That was brought to you by Newegg, Western Digital, Crucial, and Cooler Master. Check out all their cool deals at that link below at esl.gg/Newegg Esports. We're going to take a few minutes to get ourselves, catch our breath, and when we come back, the second semifinal for Week 5 of the Legendary Series. Stay tuned.